YouTube, welcome back. And if you're new, welcome to Twisty McFixie's Garage. Thank you for being here. And if nobody's here, that's all right. Maybe I'll get to meet you in the future. I thought I would come on today and talk about Ozempic. My favorite, most riveting YouTuber in the world, as Karina Kaboom would call her, Amberlynn Reed, is beginning her Ozempic arc again. I think for the third time. And I thought I would talk about my Ozempic experience and how that's gone for me. Completely different how it's going for her. Completely different than how it went for Glitter and Laser's Anna O'Brien. It's a different experience. I can actually remember when I first really seriously started considering Ozempic, it was with actually a couple of creators I had followed had like their truth about Ozempic and how it had caused them mental health issues. I think, maybe more focused around anxiety and stuff like that. And so they decided that, hey, that drug wasn't for them. And in all fairness, I don't know if that drug is meant for them. They weren't obese, considering, I'm somebody who's morbidly obese. Amberlynn Reed, morbidly obese. Like, we are giant, or we were. She is, I was a giant, massive person who needs assistance losing weight. I started kind of looking into it, reading a little bit here and there about it, talking about, the price of Ozempic is so high. Insurance companies aren't covering it. So basically, if you want to get it, you're paying full price, which is, of course, over $1,000 a month. And I was kind of dejected, and I was like, okay, well, what if my insurance providers, or what if my doctors went and, what if my doctors prescribed it to me? I had my primary care, my endocrinologist, I don't know how to say that, and my cardiologist. All three of those doctors prescribed Ozempic to me for weight loss and, hey, to save my life, really. I'm well over 500 pounds, and I wouldn't even be, I was closer to 6 probably, if I'm being honest with you. But again, like Amberlynn Reed, I've got a highest recorded weight, and then I have probably am kind of a weight. But I think I've mentioned this before, but my highest recorded weight was 553, and that was 2020, during my first hospitalization for cellulitis. I was pretty much immobile, and I was especially immobile with the cellulitis on my legs, and I couldn't stand or walk, so they had to weigh me on the bed. So that was kind of crazy that the bed was able to weigh me. But that's where we got the 553 from. And during that first hospital stay, I lost 50 pounds of water weight or lymphatic fluid, which was absolutely crazy. And the difference that I felt losing those 50 pounds was like my lungs could breathe. I could breathe again. And it was such an amazing feeling. But unfortunately, my mental health I wasn't taking care of my mental health. And I immediately put that weight right back on. And then some. I didn't start seeing a mental health counselor until it was April of 20. I'd been hospitalized at the beginning of 20. So it was about April 20 that I met with my counselor. And I'm still with her today, so almost going on 5 years with her. And at the time when I first got with her, the whole reason I got with her was because I was going to try to pursue weight loss surgery. And of course, you need to have a mental health counselor. You need to meet with one, and they need to be able to sign off on, this is a good candidate for it or not. And I ended up same with ALR. I wasn't ready to give up food, and I panicked, and it didn't. My addiction got the better of me, and I definitely ended up fizzling out of the whole weight loss surgery arc. But come to 23, I've been denied by my insurance, even though, my doctors, 3 different doctors are trying to prescribe it to me. I finally got the idea, ding, actually it's kind of funny because the light bulb's right there. But anyway, ding, light bulb goes off. What about no insurance? Going the no insurance route. So I started looking that up online. What about doing it with no insurance? Yes, there's coupons. Are the coupons worth it? No. I think the best coupon I could find was going to be like $600 a month with the coupon. So I ended up finding what I think Amberlynn Reed calls a med spa, I guess. It was an online service. They were able to prescribe semaglutide, which is the compounded version of Ozempic. Not exactly sure what you're getting, but hey, I was getting something. But anyway, it was $475 a month to go through them, which again was still cheaper than the 600, which was still cheaper than the 1,000. And I remember initially that sticker shock of that $475. I mean, I was going back and forth in my head like, I really can't afford it. I really can't afford it. You know, but it was like, oh, wait a second. Let's just slow down. How much am I spending on Uber Eats? How much am I spending on DoorDash? How much am I spending on whatever delivery food service, right? If Ozempic does what it says it's supposed to do, theoretically should stop eating as much. You know, and that was the kind of the mental gymnastic, the hurdle that I had to get over, was to realize, like, look, you're not going to be spending that money on food anymore. That's it. I'm not going to be. So let's go ahead and spend money on Ozempic. So that's what I did. My first dose was April 28th of 2023, which notably was my parents' 50th wedding anniversary. Not exactly the most joyous occasion. My dad was on hospice. He ended up passing just about a month later. I mean, he made it to the anniversary, but he wasn't really, with it, or really, it was pretty somber. But that was my first dose. And within the first couple of days, I immediately started having side effects, as in queasy. So that was my real big side effect, was that my stomach was just queasy. I never vomited, but I definitely had quease. And as I got to kind of listen to my body and I figured it out, I got queasy when I got hungry. So whenever I would have a hunger pain, a queasy pain would be coming right there. And then I would get queasy when it would begin to digest in my stomach. So there was 2 different times. So I believe that there's a chemical reaction there that was happening with the Ozempic and the whatever your body releases to, digest food. Like, there's something going on right there. Not a medical doctor. You can probably tell by my super specific medical talk. But it made me sick. And it was aversion therapy. I mean, 100%. My brain, my stomach, within that first month, broke up with each other. I tried to binge eat. I was going through a super tough time in my life with my dad, my mother-in-law. My mother-in-law passed away 3 weeks after my dad passed away. My mom ended up moving in with us. Just all sorts of nonsense was happening in my life. Moving here to this house. This was my mother-in-law's house. A lot of things happened. Lost my train of thought. Well, just a lot of things in my life were changing. And being on Ozempic was just another one of those changes, and it all kind of just worked out. That's what I was talking, was the binge eating. I remember ordering Taco Bell, like a shit ton of Taco Bell, like 18, 20 items, like I would have done, like I did in the past. 100% like I did in the past. 2 chips and cheese, cinnamon twist, quesadilla, 2 bean burritos, whatever else was on special, those nacho fries, it's just bag full of shit. And I thought that I needed it I thought that I wanted it so that I could feel good again, right? Because I've got all these negative feelings, death, terrible, hard, moving. So I order all this food. I made it through half a bean burrito. I was full. Looked at the rest of that bag. It's like, well, goddamn. Put it in the fridge. I ate off of that bag for I think it was a week and a half, I think. But I tried to overeat. I tried to find some serotonin, some dopamine from food. And and for the first time, I think I had that realization of, you know what? Binge eating. I mean, I'm definitely not cured. I think once you're an addict, you're always an addict. I think you've heard people talk about that, they're like, I'm an alcoholic, but I haven't drank in 20 years. Are you still an alcoholic? Well, yeah, you are, because the next time you go and drink a 5th of vodka, you're probably going to head down a slippery slope and be drinking a 5th of vodka every day, that kind of a thing. It's the same with me with food. So yeah, I still have a BED, but it is a BED that's in remission, and that's definitely thanks to Ozempic. As far as my weight loss goes, because of the extreme situation that I was in when I started Ozempic, again, my father passing, my mother-in-law passing, moving, selling my mom's house, moving my mom in with us. All of those things triggered a ton of physical activity, and I had to, from the moment my mother-in-law went on hospice, we were moved into her house within 5 days. Like, it was boom, figure it out, we have to do this, and get movers, get all that figured out, and we moved just like that, just that fast. And I was an active participant in all of it, right? I wasn't sitting there having just my partner, put shit away. It was me and her doing it together. So with the increased activity, with the lower calorie, we're in that calorie deficit, that's how you lose weight. Amber, I did not have a menu planned out. I don't know why you have a menu and you're planning meals while you're on Ozempic. The whole idea is that you will no longer crave anything. Having a meal or not having a meal, it literally doesn't matter. So it's crazy to me to think that you just think that you have to eat, 8 times a day. So I'm telling you what, you sure don't. You've got enough stored fat. I have enough stored fat still at 300 pounds that they're like, I'm good. I'm not afraid, if I miss a meal, like, oh, I'm gonna die, malnutrition. No, honey, no, it's not how that works. We are packed full of fat and nutrition that our bodies can live off of. Look at me, for 2 years, or I'm going on 2 years, and I'm fine. I haven't lost my hair, right? I'm not having my teeth aren't falling out because I've got some sort of nutritional deficiency. None of that. All of the excuses that, ALR makes and made, just excuses. She wasn't ready, and I don't know if she is. She's not ready to break up with food. She isn't, and she's not doing anything to address her mental health. She's not meeting with a psychiatrist either. Those that went hand in hand with me. Once I got with a mental health counselor, I got with a psychiatrist, and I can guarantee you I wouldn't be down 200 pounds if both of those things didn't happen first. But in the long run, can I stay on Ozempic forever? I don't think so. You've heard about people talking about once they've stopped Ozempic, they just gained all the weight back, right? I don't doubt it if you didn't make a mental switch, if you didn't make a mental change, then yeah, I'm sure you went right back to eating. I'm going on my third surgery coming up. I've had to stop Ozempic. This is my third time of having to stop Ozempic. And I've had to stop it for 2 weeks at a time. During those stoppages, I'm currently in a stoppage. I'm good. Right? The neural pathway to my stomach has not reconnected, maybe after some time. But I just had, November 2nd, my mom passed, right? So just add some more trauma to my life. And I'm not trying to get sympathy, but I'm just trying to illustrate that I've had trauma. I've had, everybody, I'm an orphan. It's crazy to think like that, but it's literally I'm an orphan. Both my parents are gone. My mother-in-law is gone. My partner's dad has been long gone. We're literally just orphans. We're the smartest people we know, which is worrisome. But despite the trauma, I didn't go back to eating, even though I had stopped taking the Ozempic. So for me, I really credit that to the mental health counseling. I credit that to the psychiatry. I credit all of that to the work that I've put in these past 2 years. That, yeah, I haven't put the weight back on. But do I need to get weight loss surgery? Yeah, I do. I'm pretty sure that I do, especially if I want to be a candidate to get loose skin removed. I've got deflated fupa that could definitely get the snip. I've got some amazing wings, these flabbity wings underneath my arms. I've got saggy bits in my legs from where the lymphedema used to be. I've got loose skin. I don't think I can be obese to beast. And shout out to that guy. I really admire that guy. He wears that extra skin proudly. I unfortunately don't think I'm secure enough to just wear those saggies proudly. My fucking my boobs are like down to my waist. I mean, there's nothing there. I wear sports bras just to keep them, held up, but they're like down to my waist. I swear to God. I need to get, so basically once my BMI hits, it's 30. I think that's the cutoff of no longer eligible for weight loss surgery is a BMI of 30. Keeping that in mind, I think that's kind of just what I'm shooting for. Once I get down to that BMI, I am going to seriously start going towards that weight loss surgery. But until then, I'm perfectly content losing the weight at the pace that I've been losing. I'm happy with my increased energy. We just walked 4 miles the other day, right? I can think back to less than 2 years ago. I couldn't stand for more than 30 seconds, right? Out of breath, getting sweaty and shit. Like, that was the worst, man. And we just walked 4 miles, right? I stood for my entire work day. I do office stuff, but I am lucky enough I get to work from home, which is great, but I have a sit-stand desk, which is cool, and I stood, for my entire shift, 10 hours up, and it feels so good to just know that I can do that now. Did I get a little bit sweaty standing for 10 hours? Yeah, I did. I actually did. But it was great. It felt great. It feels great to be sore the next day, right? Feeling the burn a little bit. Like, I absolutely am just amazed at how resilient my body's been. And Amber, if I can say anything to you, damn it, just start the Ozempic, stay with the Ozempic, get rid of menu planning, and let the drug do what the drug is supposed to do. Get your dose up to the maximum and let it do what it's supposed to do. Your brain is going to break up with your stomach. But if you're going to fight it and you're going to force yourself to eat, I don't know why you're on it. You don't want to lose weight if that's the case. So anyway, this has been my experience on Ozempic. If you want to know more about my experience, I would love to share it with you. I'm not quite sure what to share. But if there's something else you want to know, definitely leave it in the comment. Hit me up. Drop a line. I would love to engage in some dialogue. So I want to thank everybody for stopping on by. If you've made it this far in the video, thank you. If you enjoy the content that I'm rolling with, hit me with a like, hit me with a subscribe, hit me with a comment, and let's get this going. This is a little bit selfish, but I really do want to find a community of people, like-minded people that I can vibe with. And I hope I get to find you guys in the near future. Anyway, I hope everybody's having a wonderful day. Take care.